Everything has been ripped out of them.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today we've got a wild lineup of clips ranging from Nephilim sightings to never-before-seen footage of cryptids that will blow your mind. Ready? Well, let's dive in then. Starting today's episode, we've got something interesting. First off, we have all had a pretty good idea of what a galaxy looks like, at least based on the images and illustrations scientists have provided in books and online, right? But now, take a look at this experiment and tell me what it reminds you of. In the footage, a drop of water lies perfectly still on a flat surface. Then someone adds a tiny amount of cobalt chloride to the drop, followed by a drop of sodium hydroxide. Now, watch the transformation. Inside that little droplet, something extraordinary unfolds. It swirls, shifts, and spreads, forming patterns that resemble a miniature galaxy. The mixture seems alive, creating delicate spirals and waves just like a galaxy. It's mesmerizing. A tiny universe has been born right in front of our eyes. Just in case you were wondering, cobalt chloride is used in various dental products such as mouthwash and toothpaste. Could it be that every time we brush our teeth, we're swirling tiny galaxies around in our mouths? Now, that was a joke, but what does this mean for us? Could our entire galaxy be nothing but an insignificant scientific experiment by a higher power? Share your thoughts. While you share your thoughts on that, let's take a look at this next one. It was a quiet, normal evening, and nothing seemed out of place. At least that was supposed to be the case until the home security system captured something rather odd. Pay attention to the right side of the footage. A very large, dark shadow moves swiftly across the ground. It seems to have come from something massive overhead. The size of the shadow was far too large to be from any bird, and it didn't seem to be from a craft either. The individual who saw it was left puzzled, and almost everyone he showed it to felt the same, including the online paranormal community. Some speculate that whatever cast the shadow could be some type of paranormal entity, but no one can point their fingers to which exactly. Personally, I have lots of theories, but this is one of those times where I want to hear your thoughts first. So what do you think is going on here? A man was filming a house engulfed in flames as he waited for the fire services to arrive when he noticed something truly eerie. Emerging from the fire was a figure, but it was certainly not human. The figure had a dark, shadowy outline, but appeared to be made entirely of flames shaped like a person. There's not much information on whether there was any casualties in the fire, but if there were, some might suggest this figure could be the spirit of a victim. Some suggest that the footage doesn't look edited in any way, making it even more unsettling. What do you think this fiery apparition might be? All over the internet, there are videos and footage circulating of people, mostly seen on live television, who appear to glitch. By glitching, I mean people shape-shifting on live broadcasts. The person's appearance or features seem to change in an instant, where they are often referred to as reptilians. In this case, a woman was on national television when her eyes glitched. People watching noticed her inner eyelids blink sideways, resembling the well-known reptilian eye phenomenon. This theory suggests that certain individuals, high-profile ones, might not be human, but some kind of reptilian shapeshifter disguised amongst us. While skeptics argue that these moments are nothing more than camera glitches or optical illusions, believers point to such events as proof of reptilians living amongst us. What do you think? A man in the Netherlands hiked up a hill to get the perfect view of a full moon one evening. As he prepared to capture the stunning sight with his camera, he ended up recording something unexpected. It was a strange vertical object near the moon. The object appears to be positioned just close enough to the moon that it seems like it could be related. Some believe it might be a craft possibly connected to the alleged claims that aliens inhabit or use the moon as a base. If you didn't know already, theories about the moon being an alien outpost have circulated for a while, and while we haven't covered it extensively, many believe it. Could this mysterious object really be linked to extraterrestrial life? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. In September 2023, a man set up a wildlife trail camera deep in a Canadian forest, hoping to capture footage of a large white-tailed buck known to roam the area. While he succeeded in filming the deer, what he saw upon reviewing the footage left him in shock. In one of the clips, a massive creature appeared emerging from the trees. The creature was walking upright on two legs and was holding some kind of stick or object in its hands. Its sheer size and bipedal movement immediately reminded him of the numerous Bigfoot sightings that have been reported in that very region. Given the history of Bigfoot activity in the area, this discovery isn't entirely surprising, but it's still a startling and rare find. Could this be yet another piece of evidence for the elusive Bigfoot? A couple decided to spend a relaxing weekend at a beach house with their kids, hoping for a peaceful getaway. One evening, they headed down to the beach for some nighttime fun. As the kids played ahead, one of the parents stayed behind to film the moment, capturing the joy and laughter of their children. The weekend came to an end, and the family returned home. While reviewing the footage, something chilling caught their attention. In one of the clips, as their little girl was making goofy faces at the camera, a strange figure appeared in the background. The creature looked humanoid, emerging from the direction of the sea, moving low to the ground as if crawling or slithering. The footage didn't offer a clear view of what it was, but the eerie presence was unmistakable. Some speculate it could be a rake, others think it might be a sea monster or the restless spirit of someone lost in the ocean's depths. While no one knows for sure what the creature was, one thing is certain. This family will think twice before going to the beach at night again. Unless, of course, the clip is fake, which Julius suspects it is. But then again, this is Julius we're talking about. Do you agree with him? A group of men were having a casual evening under a shed, chatting and enjoying the night when they noticed something unsettling near the bushes at the edge of the shed. It was the head of a horned creature peeking out from the darkness, staring right at them. The creature resembled a goat but had an oddly human-like appearance. It had 2 small horns and appeared to be crouching low, blending into the shadows. The camera zoomed in on it, and despite the attention, the creature remained still, as if watching them. After a while, it disappeared from view and the group erupted into shouting, clearly disturbed by the encounter. In occult practice, the devil is often portrayed as a half-human, half-goat figure. Then there's the satyr, a mythological creature known for its goat-like features. So could this eerie sighting be one of these 2 entities, or perhaps just an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts. Around the world, there are communities or even larger groups of people who dabble in black magic, using dark powers and entities for a variety of purposes. Some use it for harmful intentions, while others claim to use it for good. Now, take a look at this rather curious footage. In the video, there's a person standing by a window, gazing out at a man mowing the grass outside in the front of his house. On the windowsill is an odd-looking doll. The person holding the camera seems to be using what looks like a pin to prick the doll, and every time they do, the man mowing the grass reacts. When the needle goes to the head of the doll, the man grabs his head. When it pricks the back, the man suddenly grabs his back, wincing in pain. This resembles the classic depiction of black magic. They use dolls called voodoo dolls to replicate individuals and inflict harm on them by manipulating the doll, which then affects the person in real life. Is it genuine evidence of dark magic at work? If it is, should you and I be scared? Years ago, Albert Einstein and physicist Nathan Rosen developed a theory that suggested the existence of what we now call wormholes, or more familiar, the Einstein-Rosen bridge. This theory proposed the existence of tunnels in space-time connecting distant parts of the universe through a sort of shortcut. While the idea has remained largely theoretical, it has intrigued scientists and the public alike. Fast forward to recently, a woman was out one night when she captured something unusual in the sky. The footage shows the night sky glowing an eerie light green, and within it is a strange spiral pattern. At the center of this spiral, it appears as though there's a hole, almost like it's creating a vortex. Could this be evidence that Einstein's theory was right all along?
Looks like it's missing a wing. What the heck? Doesn't it? Looks like it's missing a wing. Where's this wing at?
A woman captured something bizarre in the sky that has left many scratching their heads. In the video, you can see what looks like a plane, but something is off. It's missing one of its wings and its position nose down, as if it's in a rapid descent. Yet the plane appears to be frozen in midair, completely still. How could something like this happen? What do you think could explain this mysterious sight?
Looks like it's missing a wing. What the heck? Doesn't it? Looks like it's missing a wing. Where's this wing at?
Here we have another sky sighting, but this time it's not a plane or a glitch, it's something much stranger. It was captured during a stormy night. The footage reveals a dark figure floating across the sky. It moves eerily from the right to the left and then back again, almost as it's surveying the ground below. The figure doesn't resemble any known aircraft or natural phenomenon, and its motion is too controlled to be a cloud or debris caught in a storm. But what exactly is this floating figure? Could it be a creature from beyond, or is there a more logical explanation hiding behind the storm? In this next footage, a security camera set outside a home captured something strange in the night sky. A large glowing orb appeared seemingly out of nowhere, moving steadily from the left side of the screen to the right. The orb was vibrant and bright, illuminating the area around it as it traveled. Some have referred to it as an energy ball, suggesting it could be some form of pure energy or even something paranormal. Others are more skeptical, considering the possibility of it being an unusual light phenomenon or some advanced technology at play. What do you think it is? Our next clip was allegedly recorded by a drone that was sent to search for a woman who had gone missing near the mouth of a cave on a mountain. As the drone hovered around, something startling was captured. From the depths of the cave, a figure began walking toward the entrance. It wasn't a person. It resembled a classic gray alien with a large head and black eyes. When the creature noticed the drone, it immediately stopped in its tracks before retreating back into the shadows of the cave. The searchers were left stunned. While it's unclear whether they ever found the missing woman, they did share this clip of the search. The sighting raises the chilling question: did she encounter something not of this world? Could this alien-like entity be responsible for her disappearance? The clip got me excited, not because someone was lost, but because the clip looks a tad animated. Just look at the movements of the alien. Could it be that's how they really move, or that the animation meant to deceive us and it isn't perfect? I'm not sure if someone's out there sharing superpowers, but this footage definitely raises some eyebrows. The video, taken in a Walmart in Nevada, Las Vegas, shows something out of the ordinary. A man floating while pushing his cart through the store. His legs were angled upwards diagonally, almost defying gravity, yet he held onto the cart and moved it forward with ease. Shoppers around him were visibly shocked, and what's even stranger is that there were no visible wires or strings to suggest any kind of trickery. If this isn't some elaborate prank, it's mind-blowing. People have been talking about supernatural abilities, powers, or even technological advancements that could allow someone to float like that. Could this man be someone with telekinetic abilities, or has he tapped into something we don't yet understand? And hey, if superpowers are being handed out, I'd say, well, it's about time I got mine, don't you think? A man woke up one morning to find a strange hole in the door of his garage as if someone had tried to break through. So he decided to check the security camera to see what had happened during the night. What he found was unsettling. In the middle of the night, the footage showed someone on the other side of the door tearing off some panels. But that was not the strangest part. As soon as the panels fell away, a pale, unnerving figure with glowing eyes appeared, peeking through the hole. Its skin was almost ghostly, and its eyes gleamed with an eerie light as it stared into the garage. The creature bore a striking resemblance to the infamous Rake. Now the question is, what could this creature, possibly the Rake, be looking for in the garage? Julius doesn't think it's a garage though, but let's stick to the original narrative. A woman was out hiking through a wooded area when she stumbled upon this giant rock formation that bears a striking resemblance to an alligator's head. We've talked before about these mysterious rock formations that seem to look like creatures, and the theory behind them is fascinating. Some believe these formations could be ancient creatures that were somehow petrified over time, turning them into stone. What do you think? Could there be a more to these rocks than meets the eye, or is it just nature playing tricks on us?
There's no one there, I swear. There was. I think I'm gonna go this way, to be honest with you. The hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
In this next video footage, we follow a paranormal adventurer who sets out into the woods to capture something supernatural. He had driven as far as he could, then parked and ventured deeper into the forest, determined to camp out and record any paranormal activity. While setting up a portable stove to make coffee, something eerie happened without his knowledge. A dark figure appeared in the distance, moving silently among the trees behind him. At some point, the adventurer sensed something was off and, with his camera in hand, went to investigate, but found nothing at first. Still, the uneasy feeling of being watched grew stronger, compelling him to check the area once more. That's when he saw it, a robed figure lurking in the darkness ahead of him. As the figure turned its head to look directly at him, sheer terror overtook him, and he bolted from the scene too frightened to stay any longer. While the camera didn't capture a clear view of the entity, his panicked reaction suggested that what he encountered might have been more than just a person. Based on his fear and the sudden need to flee, what do you think this mysterious figure could have been? Also, Aaron thinks we should camp out in one of those locations and try this out. Is that something you guys would want to see? If it is, type "try it out" in caps in the comments section. If there's a lot of interest, we will consider it.
There's no one there, I swear. There was. I think I'm gonna go this way, to be honest with you. The hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
Two friends set out on a nighttime adventure drawn by the rumors of a mermaid sighting in the river Berbera. The stories of this elusive creature have piqued their curiosity, and they couldn't resist the urge to see for themselves. But what they discovered that night was something far more unexpected. On the muddy bank of the river sat a woman. completely covered in mud and unable to move. One of the friends took the initiative to help free her, carrying her closer to the water. As soon as she touched the river, the women swam off, disappearing into the depths. Do you think this was a mermaid they went looking for, or is this just a hoax? Even Aaron, our in-house conspiracy theorist, isn't sure about this one, but what do you guys think?
Everything has been ripped out of them.
A farmer in Utah woke up one morning to find something truly bizarre. Several of his cattle had gone missing overnight, and when he went looking for them, all he found was the hide and bones of the cows. It wasn't the usual scene of a predator attack. Something or someone had sucked the life and internal organs out of the animal, leaving behind nothing but skin and bone. No blood, no mess, just a strange surgical emptiness. This has sparked whispers of a resurgence in the phenomenon known as cattle mutilation. Back in the day, farmers and ranchers often discovered their livestock brutally mutilated, sometimes even split in two or slaughtered. But this time it's different, as if everything else had simply vanished. How is this even possible? The farmer blames a secret government project, convinced it's the result of some covert experiment. But others have a different theory. Aliens. The precision and almost surgical way the cattle were drained seems far too perfect to be the work of humans. What do you think could be responsible for this?
Everything has been ripped out of them.
In this footage, a man was out in a cornfield during a broad daylight when he began to feel an unsettling sensation, like someone or something was watching him. To ease his growing discomfort, he put some distance between himself and whatever was making him uneasy. He pulled out his phone to record whatever was lurking nearby, and what he captured was nothing short of chilling. As he pans the camera across the field, there's a glimpse of something walking between the tall corn stalks. The figure is partially obscured by the crops, making it difficult to fully identify, but the man believes it's a rake. The footage doesn't give a clear view, but there's no doubt something strange was out there in the cornfield. Do you think this is a glimpse of a cryptid, or could it be something else entirely? Next, we've got a hiker who was exploring the dense forests of North Carolina when something caught her eye among the trees. Curious, she quickly snapped a photo, unaware of what she'd truly captured. Later, when she reviewed the picture, she was stunned to see the face of a large creature partially hidden behind the trees. The creature looked like an ape, but its size and certain distinct features made her believe this was no ordinary animal. The hiker became convinced that what she'd witnessed was a Sasquatch. From the image, the massive creature appeared to have the iconic dome-shaped head often attributed to Sasquatch sightings. While much of its face was concealed by the forest, a few key features stood out, like its almost human-like face with a defined nose and strong brow ridges. The encounter left the hiker shaken with thoughts about the elusive and legendary creature. Does this count as one of the most compelling sightings of Sasquatch in recent times? Share your thoughts. Recently, an intriguing discovery was made by some cave explorers who came across a massive carving deep within the cave. The carving is of a giant humanoid head, but what makes it particularly fascinating is that it only has one eye, just like a cyclops. The location of this cave remains undisclosed, but the find is certainly captivating. In ancient times, stories and lore about giant creatures were quite common, and one of the most fascinating figures from mythology is the Cyclops. The Cyclops have appeared in various cultures, especially in Greek mythology, where they're being depicted as fearsome and powerful one-eyed giant beings. It's incredible to imagine that ancient civilizations might have left behind clues about creatures that once roamed the earth, at least in their stories. What do you make of this remarkable discovery? An observer shared a strange sighting in the sky, something that seemed out of the ordinary. A massive shiny orb appeared in the blue sky, and from it, smaller orbs emerged and began to scatter, each heading in its own direction. Orbs like these aren't exactly new in the world of unexplained phenomena, but what they really are remains a mystery. Some believe these glowing orbs could be UFOs, advanced technology piloted by extraterrestrial beings. Others suggest that orbs are spiritual entities, perhaps even beings from another dimension, or a sign of a supernatural presence. Given how common orb sightings have become, it's easy to see why people are torn between these explanations. What do you think they are? When people say technology and AI are gradually taking over, they often mean it figuratively. But in many cases, it's a literal takeover. Robots designed to make our lives easier are becoming more advanced every day, and some are even entering unexpected areas of life. For example, take a look at a robot known as the Harmony Robot. While companies like Elon Musk's are focusing on robots to help with various practical tasks, other companies are creating robots to make the bedroom business more accessible. The latest version of the Harmony Robot is designed to look incredibly realistic, and they're working on making the doll's facial expressions and movements more lifelike, especially when it talks. You can see its face more naturally. It's both fascinating and unsettling to think that in just a few years, robots like this could become a common part of life. How far will this go? Let's take a look at another alleged UFO sighting, but this one is what people call the jellyfish UFO. The strange object was captured floating in the sky, and just like its name suggests, it looks eerily similar to a jellyfish drifting through the ocean. It has a bulbous, glowing body with flowing tendrils or beams extending beneath it, creating the illusion of organic movement as if it's swimming through the air. The way it shimmers and moves seems almost deliberate, graceful, yet otherworldly. Now, here's the fascinating part. There are multiple sightings like this from different parts of the world. Some people believe these jellyfish-like entities could be living organisms from another dimension, or perhaps creatures that would exist naturally but remain hidden from us. Others argue these could be advanced drones or alien spacecraft designed to look organic to avoid detection. Back in 2005, a piece of footage started circulating the internet that left many people scratching their heads. It was captured by a group of students who had ventured into the woods to film a short documentary. During the shoot, one of the students suddenly came running toward the camera, panicked, and right behind him was a massive, dark brown furred creature running on two legs. Many claimed it was a Sasquatch. The boys later released the footage, referring to it as the creature of the giant sequoias. To this day, no one knows for sure whether the footage was real or an elaborate hoax, and the students never provided further confirmation. What do you think? Was this a genuine sighting or just another attempt to stir up a legend? We all know that the Earth spins on its axis, but have you ever wondered what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning and started rotating in the opposite direction? If Earth reversed its spin, it would be a planet none of us recognize, a place of unimaginable chaos. The sudden reversal would devastate ecosystems, alter the environment, and leave humanity struggling to adapt. Fortunately, the chances of the Earth stopping and reversing its rotation are incredibly slim. It's more of a thought experiment than a real threat. But it does make us wonder how fragile life on this spinning rock really is. What do you think? Would we be able to survive such an event, or would it signal the end of civilization as we know it? The person who shared it claimed to have stumbled upon an abandoned facility. While exploring, they came face to face with this. On a stretcher, lying motionless, was a creature that appeared anything but human. This being had light brown skin, large black eyes, and an injured appearance. At first glance, you'd think it was a classic gray alien, but there were noticeable differences. Its skin color was unlike the typical grays, and instead of two distinct legs, it had something more reminiscent of a mermaid tail. The lower part of its body ended with a single foot-like appendage, which made it even more puzzling. What was this? Could this creature really be an alien, or is there more to the story? Kindly share your thoughts. Let's dive back into the topic of giants, specifically the Nephilim. This term isn't exactly new, especially in paranormal and Christian circles. According to ancient texts, the Nephilim were giants born from the union of divine beings and humans. On a recent podcast, a man brought up something rather alarming. Take a listen. He claimed that scientists allegedly have access to Nephilim DNA, and if injected into a human, it could potentially turn that person into a Nephilim themselves. Now, that's a wild thought. While we know scientists are conducting all kinds of experiments in their labs, hence the term mad scientists, the idea of tampering with ancient, perhaps mythical DNA sounds both outlandish and eerie. A lot of people might brush this off as just another conspiracy theory, but if you take a closer look at the world today, many once dismissed conspiracies seem to be edging toward reality. So could there really be truth to this, or is it just another theory? Now, speaking of conspiracies coming to life, this theory of reptilian shapeshifters walking amongst us has been circulating for quite some time, often discussed as one of the most bizarre and outlandish conspiracies. But let's take a closer look at this footage from Russia, which has reignited the conversation. At a high-profile party, while people were mingling and having fun, the lights went out for a brief moment. In that moment of darkness, the person filming managed to capture something strange: 3 pairs of glowing eyes. What makes this even more chilling is that the room was pitch dark, and none of these individuals were wearing glasses or anything that could explain the reflection of light. When examined closely, you can see that 2 of the figures are clearly men in suits, while the third is lurking behind someone. This raised immediate speculation about who or what these people might be. In interviews following the incident, a man and a woman gave their take on what they witnessed, hinting at the possibility of something more than human being present. Some believe that these people are shapeshifters. Others also think these are signs of vampires or even extraterrestrials, each with their own abilities to blend in with humans, while occasionally showing signs of their true nature. What do you make of this footage? Here we have another intriguing image, also taken back in 2005. The witness was a woman who was out for a walk in the woods with her dog when she claimed to have seen an ape-like creature emerge from the bushes and onto the path ahead of her. Acting quickly, she hid behind some bushes and managed to snap this photo of the creature. Take a look at the image. Could this be a Bigfoot? It certainly has the shape and features we've come to associate with the legendary creature, but as is often the case, the image is blurry, making it hard to say for sure. Also, this creature appears to be somewhat small, but what do you think? A man stumbled upon a mysterious cave in the middle of nowhere. Intrigued by its location, he decided to venture inside. As he stepped into the cave, the air was damp, and the faint echo of his footsteps reverberated through the hollow stone walls. He kept walking deeper and deeper, but no matter how far he went, he felt like he was getting nowhere. It was as though the cave was endless, a loop of sorts. After what felt like hours, the tunnel finally opened up into a massive chamber. But what caught his attention was something even more unsettling. The multiple pathways were branching off from this chamber, each leading into dark corridors that seemed to stretch into infinity. It felt like an abandoned bunker or a forgotten underground facility lost to time. But what was its purpose, and why did it seem so carefully hidden away? A couple left their 3 teenage boys home alone one evening as they worked late, thinking it would just be another quiet night. However, the boys called their mom, saying that they had heard the sound of shattering glass somewhere in the house. Yet when they searched for signs of an intruder, they saw nothing. Their mother told them to call the police and lock themselves in a room until help arrived. The boys huddled together in one room, fearfully awaiting the arrival of the cops. While they waited, curiosity got the better of them. One of the boys grabbed a camera, and they cautiously ventured out of their safe spot, walking down the stairs, turning on the lights, and searching for any sign of the intruder. However, they saw nothing suspicious, just an unsettling silence. But something felt off. At one point, fear overtook them, and they rushed back upstairs to the room, locking themselves in once again. The police arrived and found no sign of a break-in or disturbance. Everything seemed normal. Later, when their parents returned home, they decided to rewatch the footage the boys had captured during their brief investigation. And what they discovered chilled them to the core. As the boys descended the stairs, the camera briefly captured something they hadn't noticed before. A pale, eerie face at the top of the stairs, barely just visible in the shadows. It was a face so unsettling that it was immediately clear this was not a person. They hadn't seen it in real time, but the camera had picked up what they had missed. Whatever that face belonged to, it was not human. The boys had been unknowingly sharing their home with something far more sinister than a simple intruder. This haunting encounter left the family very shaken. What do you think was up those stairs? In the video that follows, an unidentified individual recorded a fascinating occurrence in the night sky. The footage shows a glowing entity moving behind the clouds. The person who took the footage claims it to be an angel, but there are different opinions about what it might be. Some believe it could be a UFO, while others suggest that it could be an optical illusion caused by the clouds. The object's movement is smooth and steady, and it appears to be moving in a straight line. Some think it's a spotlight, others think we may have an alien invasion on our hands. If anything at all, this video is an intriguing reminder that there are still many mysteries in the world that we have yet to fully understand. Our final clip was recorded in China in March, when the weather conditions were extreme and everything appeared to be covered in ice, creating a scene reminiscent of the Ice Age. The video depicts a deserted landscape where the trees, houses, and roads are all heavily covered in thick layers of ice, giving the impression that time has stood still. The harsh weather conditions have made it difficult for the locals where the clip was recorded to go about their daily lives, leaving the streets eerily empty and lifeless. Despite the beauty of the icy landscape, it's a reminder of the challenges of living in such extreme weather conditions. Growing up, there were places in our family home I didn't go to because I believed they were haunted. An example is the basement, and I'm sure I'm not the only kid who felt that way. But what happens when adults feel that way?
And it's been unlocked, so I'm gonna go inside. Who's here?
I know my question may have been ambiguous, but it's referring to this clip. This clip was recorded because health workers in a hospital the uploader conveniently forgot to name has been refusing to enter one particular room in the hospital where they work. Why, you ask? Well, the answer is simple. They believe it's haunted. Yes, you heard that right, haunted. Strange things allegedly happen in this particular room, and the brave nurse recording this clip went on an adventure to prove them wrong. After gaining access to the room, she opened it and then shut it immediately. She's not sure why she did, but she felt something ominous when the door opened up. Luckily, she was filming, and when she and her colleagues reviewed the clip later, they saw what looked like the head, or at least the face, of a spirit or disembodied being looking at her. She states that after that incident, she's not gone back to the place to check. Somehow, the incident scared her, and despite her feisty nature, she's not gone back to the room. She's scared. What do you guys think, though? Is this really real, or is she playing at us?
And it's been unlocked, so I'm gonna go inside. Who's here?
It's not every day you see fire do this, right? That should tell you this isn't normal, correct? Well, it's not. There's something ominous at play here. Have any of you heard of Umbanda? No? Well, it's a syncretic Afro-Brazilian religion that blends elements from African religions, indigenous Brazilian spiritual practices, Catholicism, and Spiritism. Originally in Brazil in the early 20th century, Umbanda features a rich pantheon of deities called orexes, spirits of ancestors and other entities that followers believe can interact with the material world. Umbanda rituals often include music, drumming, singing, and dancing, as well as the use of offerings and the invocation of spirits. Practitioners believe in the importance of balance between the spiritual and material worlds and often seek guidance from the spirits for various aspects of life. What you see before you is a ritual. Gives you the heebie-jeebies, doesn't it? Culture varies from place to place, and sometimes some might seem unique. Take a look at this footage, for instance. In the clip, we see a group of men gathered around a pot of sizzling food. Things take a bizarre turn when the guy in the center dips his hand into the hot oil and then casually puts it in his eye. As if that's not strange enough, he tilts his head in this weird position, giving everyone around a front row seat to the unusual spectacle. It looks like a street performance, but it clearly isn't. That's left many in the community asking what could be going on there, but no one can say for sure, but we can speculate. Some state that there's a possibility it's nothing more than a cultural presentation, while some think they have made pacts with God protecting them. Our skeptics like Julius, however, believe the whole thing is a hoax meant to steal money out of the pockets of the gullible. You've seen it yourself. What do you think? Whoa, talk about an unexpected aerial encounter. So someone's up there soaring in a hang glider over the Texas skies, minding their own business, when they spot a craft in the sky that's neither a plane nor a helicopter. The owner of the footage thinks it's a Metapod UFO. Now, Metapod or not, the big question remains, what in the world could this craft be? Is it a secret government project, an experimental aircraft, or maybe just some intergalactic tourists making a pit stop in Texas? What's your take on this airborne enigma? Alien visitors, a high-tech experiment, or just a really fancy drone with a flair for the dramatic? On August the 15th, 2024 in Honolulu, Hawaii, someone shared an image that has sparked quite a bit of debate. The photo, taken on that day, shows the night sky with strange horizontal lines that resemble glowing syringes. These lines appeared to be attached to some sort of craft or device hovering up there. Now, while some people believe that these are just drones, Aaron, a firm believer in extraterrestrial activity, thinks otherwise. According to him, these lines are more likely to be UFOs, not just ordinary drones. Wild, right? But what if he's right? Just think about it. Have you ever wondered if there was some truth to the Bible stories you heard while growing up? Well, the upcoming clip may just answer your questions.
All in the ruins of the city. This has been tested before, and these are almost, very highly pure sulfur. Look at that. Look at that. A perfect sulfur ball, just like the Bible says that's fire and sulfur.
I'm pretty sure we're familiar with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah from Genesis 19. You know, the region that was destroyed due to their sexual perversion and sins. If you read the Bible, you know that God destroyed the city using fire and brimstone. The damage was so devastating that it not only destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, but the surrounding regions as well. Now, we know this from the Bible, but did it really happen? Well, some scientists visited an area that believed to be Sodom and Gomorrah, and what they discovered there was, well, shocking. Just like the Bible described, the city is all burned and the bricks there have turned to ashes. Guess what they found in those ashes? Sulfur balls. Hundreds, no, millions of sulfur balls. They were white on the outside and yellow on the inside. They tested them, and they were 99.6% sulfur. Based on their analysis, they concluded that the balls burnt themselves out. If you didn't already know, brimstone is burning sulfur. They hadn't come across anything like that, which led to one logical conclusion. Sodom and Gomorrah had to have existed, and the city have had to been destroyed as the Bible described. Given the evidence, we can't deny the fact, but doesn't that make you think? If this is true, then we can say that everything in the Bible could be true. If that's the case, shouldn't we be worried and be repenting? Think about it.
All in the ruins of the city. This has been tested before, and these are almost, very highly pure sulfur. Look at that. Look at that.
An individual stumbled upon an extraordinary stone that caught their attention due to its unusual appearance. Upon closer inspection, they noticed that the stone was emitting a fiery glow through the cracks on its surface. This fascinating stone is known as a euperlite, which is a type of volcanic rock found in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Euperlites are unique because they contain fluorescent sodalite minerals that make them glow under ultraviolet light. This discovery has sparked interest among geologists, rock collectors, and enthusiasts who are fascinated by this remarkable stone. A group of close-knit friends were enjoying a leisurely walk on a path through a dense forest, surrounded by towering trees and the gentle rustling of leaves. As they chatted and laughed, they suddenly noticed something moving ahead of them. At first, they thought it might be an animal, but as the creature came into view, they were filled with intense fear and shock. What they saw was a pale humanoid creature crawling backwards on all fours. Its movements were jerky and unnatural, and its eyes glinted with an eerie intensity. The friends were frozen with terror, unable to move or speak for several moments. When they finally regained their senses, they sprinted away from the creature as fast as they could, their hearts pounding with fear. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, what kind of creature was it? Some have suggested that it could be a mythical creature known as a rake, while others believe it could be something else entirely. Regardless, the incident has left the friends shaken and wary of venturing into the forest again. What do you think? A fisherman shared unusual footage that has left many people scratching their heads.
Does anyone know what this creature, and it's flaring up too. Look at the spines on it.
He had set a fish on a hook as bait, and when he pulled it back up from the sea, there was something bizarre stuck to it. It wasn't just the fish he was expecting, there was this strange smaller creature latched onto it. At first glance, it looked like a big caterpillar, but there's more to it than that. This creature was pinkish in color, smooth in texture, and had an unsettling number of legs and spikes along its body. It's definitely not something you see every day, especially not in the ocean. So what could this be? Some sort of deep-sea creature, or perhaps a species we haven't yet identified? Maybe it's an example of marine life adapting to ways we still don't fully understand. One thing's for sure, this find is both fascinating and a bit eerie, wouldn't you agree?
Does anyone know what this creature, and it's flaring up too. Look at the spines on it.
What is going on here? Someone shared this footage of this strange-looking cloud in the sky. It's vertical and red in color, and honestly, it looks very scary if you ask me. There are natural cloud formations that can look like this, such as lenticular clouds or even clouds reflecting the colors of a sunset, but there's something about this that just doesn't feel natural. The way it stands out, almost like it's not even a cloud at all, gives off an eerie vibe. Could this be some rare atmospheric phenomenon, or is there something more mysterious at play? What do you think this could be? There are lots of strange lights in the sky that have led to many tales and speculation. Mostly it's alien-related, or skeptics believe it's just some sort of hologram display. Take a look at this one, however. There are orange orbs in a line in the sky. The orbs seem to be appearing in a strange line, and as the ones behind vanish, the line appears to move. The way the orbs vanish and reappear in sequence creates a sense of purposeful motion that's hard to explain with conventional means. One popular theory is that these lights are of extraterrestrial origin. Many UFO sightings involve orbs of light, often described as moving in ways that defy conventional aircraft capabilities. Could these orange orbs be an alien craft moving through our atmosphere, or is this one possibly observing and even attempting to communicate with us? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Imagine this. You walk into your bathroom to take a shower, only to find this eerie scene. The shower head is floating in the air, water streaming out, moving like some sort of snake while the cord dangles and slithers in the air. The person who took this footage was understandably spooked at first. Somehow, despite how spooky it looked, they recorded the strange sight, capturing the unnerving way the showerhead seemed to defy gravity and logic. After having enough of this bizarre and unsettling experience, they bravely hit the showerhead and it came crashing down. Talk about freaky. The question on everyone's mind is this real? The one who uploaded it insists it's real, but everyone else thinks it's edited footage. What do you also think? Ever encountered something this bizarre in your own home? Let us know in the comments section.
What?
Somebody's in the window keeping up.
No, there's not.
We heard a ticking clock.
Don't go nowhere. Stay right here.
A father was at home when he suddenly heard his daughter yelling for him, saying that there was a man behind the window. In the footage, you can see a head quickly dash off as soon as the father appears, prompting him to rush to the nearby window to check outside. However, he finds nothing in sight. Confused, he goes outside to investigate further, but still sees no one around. It's only when he comes back inside and reviews the footage that the eerie reality sets in. Upon closer inspection, the head that darted away from the window wasn't just any head, it had an alien-like appearance with huge pitch-black eyes. The sight is both chilling and baffling, leaving the father and those who saw the footage with a sense of unease. What could this strange figure have been? An alien stalking them, or was it just some neighbors pulling a prank?
Daddy!
What?
Somebody's in the window keeping up.
No, there's not.
We heard a ticking clock.
Don't go nowhere. Stay right here.
We actually found it. I didn't think we'd find this cave, but here it is. The elevator! Holy crap! Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What?
A group of men were out exploring when they stumbled upon a cave, but this wasn't just any ordinary cave. It led them to a 1,000-foot deep elevator shaft. As they ventured deeper, they discovered a spiral staircase that wound its way down, eventually revealing even more of the elevator track. To their amazement, it seemed like the elevator could actually be functional. This discovery is mind-blowing. The cave is believed to be connected to a popular tourist cave that once had a railway track running along it. However, the railway was shut down because the smoke from the train was causing significant damage. Imagine uncovering something like this. What could this hidden elevator have been used for, and how was it remained undiscovered for so long?
The elevator. Holy crap. Dude, it sounds like there's power to it or something. What?
So someone sent us this clip. At first we didn't know what to make of it, but after watching it over and over and over again, it appears to show recurrent shapes that appear in nature. It's supposed to be some big mystery with possibly some giant and alien origins, but we seem to be missing it. Can you be of any help? A rural farmer had set up a trail camera on his property to monitor activity and see what came and went. The first few weeks had been uneventful until one day he discovered he'd captured something far more unsettling than he anticipated. In the image, there was a ghostly figure in a robe. The entity looked hazy, almost as if it were in motion, leaving a trail of blurred movement in the photo. The farmer was shocked and disturbed by what he saw. He then uploaded it online, seeking answers. Others, however, thought it was just a person running, which could explain the ghostly appearance of the figure in the image. It's interesting considering the possibilities of what this could be. Trail cameras often capture wildlife, but sometimes they seem to pick up things that defy conventional explanation. This particular image adds to the growing collection of mysterious sightings captured by such cameras. So what do you think? Ghost or human? Share your thoughts and any similar experiences you might have had. We'd love to hear what you think about this spooky sighting.
At the end of the day, when you're studying the material and you're studying the capabilities of these vehicles, and frankly, there's nothing that we have that compares to what these vehicles can do, the capabilities that they're demonstrating in front of us.
A former Pentagon intelligence officer recently made some startling claims in his new book. He alleges that unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs for short, are under active research by scientists and that these mysterious crafts are not the product of human technology. According to him, these UAPs exhibit capabilities far beyond what is known or possible with our current technological advancements. These statements have raised eyebrows and sparked a lot of discussions as they suggest the possibility that these crafts could be of extraterrestrial origin or involve technology that is far beyond anything we've developed on Earth. The idea that scientists are quietly studying these phenomena adds another layer of intrigue, fueling speculation about what might really be out there and what governments might know but aren't fully disclosing. If his claims hold any truth, they could challenge our understanding of technology, physics, and our place in the universe.
At the end of the day, when you're studying the material and you're studying the capabilities of these vehicles, and frankly, there's nothing that we have that compares to what these vehicles can do, the capabilities that they're demonstrating in front of us, then one has to ask, well, where are they from? And if it's not our technology and it's not some sort of adversarial technology, it's someone's technology.
When he turned around, I jumped and kind of grabbed my mouth like that because I didn't know what to think.
His whole eyeball, not just the pupil, but the white part, turned completely black.
Something strange is happening that's leaving people feeling very uneasy. There have been several reports of encounters with individuals who have contorted faces and pitch black eyes. But who or what could these people or creatures be? There's been a lot of talk about aliens, with some suggesting that the humans might have already made contact with extraterrestrial beings. Could these black-eyed individuals be alien shapeshifters living among us, or is there something more to these unsettling phenomena? It's hard to say for sure, but the idea of alien beings blending into our society is certainly a chilling thought. What do you think is going on? There have been various depictions of UFOs around the world, each adding to the fascination with these unexplained phenomena. In this particular footage, we see what looks like a bent white sheet floating in the sky. This strange object isn't high up, but is instead floating quite close to the ground, adding to the eerie nature of the sighting. No one knows for sure what it could be. Some say it's a UFO, pointing to the unusual shape and low altitude as evidence. Others suggest it might be some sort of weird cloud formation, a natural but rare occurrence in the atmosphere. Skeptics, however, argue that it could simply be edited footage, a digital trick meant to stir up intrigue and excitement. What do you think it is? That's the Motorola Rollable Phone. This device features a display that wraps around the bottom of the phone. The rolled-up screen can automatically extend outwards to create a larger display for all of your needs, whether it's watching videos, multitasking, or browsing the web. When you don't need the extra screen space, it rolls away, providing a convenient second screen for quick notifications, controls, or even a compact view for messaging. The way it seamlessly transitions between a compact form and a larger display is fascinating. The flexible OLED technology and the innovative mechanism behind the rolling action make it stand out in the ever-evolving smartphone market. What do you think about this futuristic design? Would you be excited to use a rollable phone, or do you prefer traditional or foldable smartphones? While you do that, riddle me this. Have you heard of the Grim Reaper? Oh, sure you have, but have you seen images like this pop up online? Yes, there's an accident scene, but that's not where my focus is. Do you see the image of a man, or at least a humanoid creature standing on top of the vehicle? Seen it now? Well, this is a phenomenon some individuals have observed when it comes to vehicles involved in accidents. Whenever images are taken of such accidents, there's always a strange-looking being or an isolated individual looking at the vehicles involved in the accident that was not physically present when the photo was taken. This individual always shows up only in the photos. Sometimes they simply wear dark clothes, sometimes they may come with a scythe, which is the famed and well-known weapon of the Grim Reaper. There are some who also think that sometimes these images simply capture the departing souls of those involved in the accident. I know I haven't mentioned them in a while, but Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, believes that the Grim Reaper is real and these images may just as well have captured him. Julius, as usual, thinks that the images are probably photoshopped as the Grim Reaper doesn't make scientific sense, and if you are here for the first time, Julius is our in-house scientist. Now, these two can't seem to agree on what we're looking at, and I don't want to be caught in their feud, so I would refrain from sharing my opinion. You, on the other hand, can do so without worrying about dealing with these two, so do tell me, what do you think is going on here? While at sea, on higher ground, someone captured something moving in the water below. It was long blonde hair swirling and making calculated movements on the water's surface. The owner of the hair was, however, nowhere to be seen, but judging by the waves and ripples around the hair, it was evident that something was swimming underneath with hair attached to it. Could this really be a mermaid down there, or is there a more logical explanation? The movements seem too coordinated and the hair too distinct to be just a human swimming, but then again, it could be my bias of wanting to see a mermaid. So what's your take? A genuine mermaid sighting, or just a swimmer with exceptionally long hair? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. A hiker who'd wandered a little too far into the woods came across something truly strange. Nestled among the trees was one that was twisted like a pretzel. But from the look of this, it doesn't seem like the tree naturally grew that way. Instead, it appears as if something huge twisted up the tree. What could have caused this? Many have speculated that such twists and bends in trees could be the signs of Bigfoot's presence, marking their territory or communicating with others. Others think it might be the result of powerful weather phenomenon or even human activity. Local legends and folklore often speak of creatures with immense strength, capable of bending trees and moving boulders. Could this twisted tree be another piece of evidence supporting these stories, or is there a more scientific explanation that we haven't considered yet? Share your thoughts. What you're looking at is footage of a celestial body taken by an amateur astronomer. In the video, there's an oddly shaped object floating across its surface. The astronomer described it as a gigantic object, but even he had no idea what it could be. Given the amateur status of the astronomer, it's possible that this could be a natural phenomenon, a man-made object, or even an optical illusion. However, the size and shape of the object raises intriguing questions. Could it be a piece of space debris, a shadow cast by a lunar feature, or something entirely different? I guess we'll never know. Back in 1974, a family named Betts stumbled upon a mysterious metal ball on their property. Intrigued, they took it home, but soon began to notice strange occurrences. The ball seemed to have a life of its own. It could move on its own and would even follow the family members when they walked by it. It also produced odd sounds that no one could quite explain. This bizarre object quickly gained attention and was dubbed the Betts Sphere. The phenomenon caught the interest of the U.S. Navy, and various scientists conducted tests to determine its origin and purpose, but nothing conclusive was ever discovered. This lack of explanation has fueled speculation that the sphere might be some form of alien technology. As time passed, the news about the Betts Sphere gradually faded, and today its whereabouts remain unknown. The mystery of the Betts Sphere continues to intrigue those who hear about its story. Could it have really been an extraterrestrial artifact, or was it simply a product of human imagination? Now look at this, a video of a bull-headed sea lion. Yes, you heard that right. The creature has the body of a sea lion and the head of a bull, complete with horns and all. This bizarre creature is certainly a sight to behold. The juxtaposition of a sea lion's sleek aquatic body with the rugged, horned head of a bull creates an image straight out of mythology or science fiction. But in our age of advanced technology, such creations are often more digital than biological. AI and digital manipulation tools have become increasingly sophisticated, allowing artists and creators to blend reality and fantasy seamlessly. This bull-headed sea lion might be an example. What do you think? Take a look at these rocks at a waterfall and tell me what you see. The rocks are all shaped like snakes, giant snakes. Each and every one of these rocks looks like a giant serpent. Their forms are so precise and lifelike that it's hard to believe they could be natural. What could this mean? Were these massive snakes really existent at some point and ended up petrified or carved in by humans, or is this just a remarkable coincidence of natural formation? The idea of petrified giant snakes brings to mind ancient myths and legends where creatures of such magnitude once roamed the earth. Some cultures believe that petrification is a form of punishment or protection, turning living beings into stone. If these rocks are indeed remnants of giant snakes, it could lend credence to those old tales. On the other hand, nature has a way of surprising us with its creativity. Erosion, mineral deposits, and other geological processes can create astonishing shapes that mimic living forms. These snake-like rocks could be an example of pareidolia, where our minds interpret familiar patterns in random formations. On second thought, the subsequent formations are too intentional to have been created by natural means. My money is either on art by earlier civilizations or petrification. What say you? Moving on from the strange and unexplained things of the sky, take a look at these images taken on the Earth. You see a big, furry beast, right? These images were taken over the years from different geographical areas. One thing they seem to have in common is a large ape-like beast that appears to be exploring the woods. Most of the individuals who took these images believed they captured none other than the legendary Bigfoot. If you're new here, Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a legendary creature that has captivated the imagination of people for decades. Many who have allegedly seen it describe it or him as a large, hairy, ape-like being that inhabits the remote forests of North America, particularly the Pacific Northwest. Sightings and stories of the mysterious being date back to indigenous folklore and have persisted through modern times, with numerous reported encounters, footprints, and blurry photographs fooling the myth, some of which you're seeing now. Despite scientific searches carried out by Bigfoot enthusiasts and scientific minds alike, there's not a lot to prove its existence. Some who were allowed on the subject just went silent after their expeditions to find the elusive beast. This has led some to believe that they might have actually found the beast and been sworn to an oath of secrecy. Sounds crazy, I know, but what do you think of the whole Bigfoot lore? Share your candid opinions in the comments section. This next video was filmed in complete darkness, and what the person captured is truly eerie. If you look closely, there's a figure moving about, almost blending into the shadows. It's so ethereal that you might miss it if you're not paying attention. What could this be? A ghostly apparition or something else entirely? The way it moves is unsettling, almost as if it's gliding rather than walking. What do you think? Have you ever wondered about the eating habits of a Sasquatch? Most accounts suggest they eat berries and fruits. Deer hunters also report spotting the creatures lingering around their hunting sites after a kill, and people often find deer carcasses around Bigfoot hotspots. Is this all hinting that these ape-like humanoids are omnivorous, meaning that they eat both plants and animals like humans do? Reports from eyewitnesses and researchers often describe Sasquatch foraging for berries, nuts, and other fruits in the wild. This aligns with the diet of many large primates who rely on vegetation for sustenance. The presence of berry bushes and fruit trees in areas with frequent Sasquatch sightings supports this theory. However, the reports from deer hunters add an intriguing layer to our understanding. Hunters have observed Sasquatch near their hunting grounds, sometimes after a kill, suggesting that these creatures might scavenge or even hunt for meat. The discovery of deer carcasses in Bigfoot hotspots strengthens the argument that Sasquatch may have a diverse diet, including animal proteins. If Sasquatch is indeed omnivorous, this dietary flexibility could explain how they survive in various environments, from dense forests to mountainous regions. Here we have a close-up of someone's thigh and the muscles are twitching intensely. This is definitely muscle spasms and it looks very painful. To provide some context, muscle spasms or muscle cramps are sudden, involuntary contractions of a muscle or group of muscles. They can be extremely painful and may last for a few seconds to several minutes. These spasms can occur in any muscle in the body, but are most common in the legs, particularly the thighs and calves. There are many potential causes for muscle spasms. They can be triggered by overuse of the muscle during physical activity, dehydration, or a lack of minerals such as potassium or magnesium. In some cases, that might be linked to medical conditions like nerve compression, insufficient blood supply, or even certain medications. Seeing muscle spasms up close like this really highlights how intense and uncomfortable they can be. Have you ever had a muscle spasm? What was it like, and how did you deal with it? Have you seen anything like this? Sure, we post strange things all the time, but we hardly have a human standing right next to one of these strange things. We're not sure what he's doing, but he seems to be communicating with that strange thing or object. Many who saw the original post were convinced this was a jinn. Someone even translated what the guy was saying, and it went like this. Look, I tried to high-five him, and he just stands there and leaves me hanging. Now, this is one of those situations I would love to hear your take on what we are seeing. Some are convinced that it's not real and these guys set it up to go viral. Others are convinced it's very real. Where do you stand among these opinions? Next up, we got a clip from West Virginia. Take a look. What comes to mind when you see this creature? The online platform I saw this on had answers like a large owl and a wooden sculpture. But take a good look. Doesn't something else come to mind? Say something that's big and got ginormous feet. If you thought Bigfoot, then you thought right. The creature appears to be ape-like with humanoid features. What's more, it appears that it's doing its best to avoid moving a lot. Perhaps it thinks having this freeze response will prevent it from being spotted, but its eyes betray it. I'm tempted to believe this is a juvenile Bigfoot, if it's really one at all. If it's a juvenile, it would explain its size and behavior, but what do you guys think? Meet the caecilian. These are often mistaken for giant worms due to their appearance, but they're actually limbless amphibians. Caecilians are fascinating creatures that many people have never heard of. They look like a cross between a worm and a snake, with smooth, segmented bodies that can grow quite large. Unlike worms, caecilians have a backbone, making them more closely related to frogs and salamanders. These mysterious amphibians live primarily underground or in aquatic environments, which is why they're rarely seen by humans. Caecilians have unique adaptations that help them thrive in their hidden habitats. For example, they have a strong bony skull that allows them to burrow through soil or sediment with ease. There's a popular rumor that the babies eat their mothers, but that's not quite true. While caecilian babies do not eat their mothers in the typical sense, they do exhibit a fascinating behavior known as dermatophagy, where the young feed on the mother's skin. In certain oviparous caecilian species, the mother grows a special nutrient-rich layer of skin after the eggs hatch, which the young scrape off and consume with specialized teeth. This skin-feeding behavior provides essential nutrients for the growing young and helps them develop more quickly. The mother is not harmed as the specialized skin regenerates, ensuring she continues to nourish her offspring until they are ready to fend for themselves. This unique form of parental care is a remarkable adaptation that aids in the survival of the young in environments where food may be scarce. Interesting, right? A security guard was working the late night shift when he started to hear and feel strange things around him. Curious and a bit unsettled, he took out his camera and ventured into the hallway to investigate. As he panned his camera around, he captured something truly chilling. By that object over there, a dark figure appeared from the corner and peeked at him before vanishing. It was as if the figure was aware of being watched and quickly disappeared into the shadows. The footage shows a moment that would send shivers down anyone's spine. The figure's sudden appearance and disappearance are both mysterious and unsettling. What could this be? Was it a trick of the light, a shadow, or something more sinister? The guard was understandably spooked, and others who have seen the footage are just as baffled. What do you think this dark figure could be? If you know you can't handle gooey stuff that appears to be more alive, you might want to skip ahead by 30 seconds or more. If you're here, I take that as consent to go ahead, so enjoy. What are we looking at? Well, I don't know. It's not every day someone sends you something like this asking for answers. The clip was forwarded with no context or explanation, making it hard to discern what exactly it is we're looking at. At the beginning, I was convinced it was worms, but, well, they don't move like that. Every other idea I have has been worse than the worm idea, so I turn to you guys. Can you help me find out what it was we're dealing with? One subscriber here wants answers. If you have a fear of snakes, tunnels, or dark spaces, consider this your warning to move the clip by at least 30 seconds. If you're still here, then I want to believe you were good. Enjoy. Where do you think this was recorded? Also, what do you think we're looking at? Believe it or not, this was uploaded on one of our paranormal platforms by a relatively new user with no context. If you know anything about the internet, then you know that a debate has already started on this. Some think he might have filmed this in secret or abandoned tunnel. Others also thought he might have filmed it in a secret and experimental government facility. Others think it might have been created with CGI. I'm resisting the urge to bring Aaron and Julius into this particular conversation, but I believe if you are familiar with the two, you already know their stance on this matter. What I don't know, however, is what you think about it, so can you do me a favor and share your thoughts before we move on to the next clip? Did you know stars can die? Someone captured a video of a bluish light in the sky resembling a splash of color. This phenomenon is related to the life cycle of stars, which are powered by nuclear fusion. Gravity holds stars together, counteracting the immense pressure from fusion reactions. This bluish light represents a star in its final moments, a spectacular cosmic event known as a supernova. When a star exhausts its nuclear fuel, it can no longer sustain the pressure needed to counteract the force of gravity. The star then collapses in on itself, resulting in a massive explosion that releases an immense amount of energy, creating that brilliant splash of color you see in the sky. The remnants of these stellar explosions often form beautiful nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust that can eventually give birth to new stars. While this is beautiful, it's also a bit sad. It made me go out and look at our bright orange sun, wondering when that would also decide to give up on us. Call Elon a madman, but maybe, just maybe, he might be onto something that might save the entire human race in the near future. Think about it. In Mexico, a giant anomaly was spotted on the radar. This mysterious phenomenon appeared in the night sky and looked so out of this world that it quickly captured everyone's attention. It was a circle of light with smaller orbs, all shaped like saucers, creating an almost otherworldly display. People who witnessed it in real life were stunned, and the radar images only added to the intrigue. Some believe that this is just some sort of energy phenomenon, possibly related to natural atmospheric conditions, but others are convinced that this is a UFO or alien related, pointing to the distinct shapes and unusual behavior of the lights. What do you think? Is this an example of advanced alien technology visiting our planet, or could there be a more mundane explanation for these mysterious lights? This footage was taken by a security camera on the streets of India. In the video, we can see a girl crossing the road, but right behind her, something strange happens. A dark figure suddenly appears, taking on the form of a human walking right behind her. The girl, unaware of what's happening, continues walking, but then for a brief second, she glances back. That's when she sees the figure. By the time she notices it, she's almost out of the camera's view. But you can clearly see her reaction. She starts immediately running. What could this entity be? Is it some sort of ghost haunting that particular street, only revealing itself when the lady tries to cross? The timing of its appearance is definitely eerie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about who you think this dark figure could be. Now, someone uploaded this online stating he found a strange creature looking at him through his door. Naturally, when you see this, it's likely to give you the heebie-jeebies. It looks like some sort of dark creature from the shadow realm that's looking for its next meal made of flesh and bones. Surely anyone who saw something like this out of their door would freak out. I was getting ready to write my thesis on what this might be when my video editor told me it was possible to make an ordinary dog look like this when it's recorded through some sort of thermal imager. He also added that you can get that same effect while applying effects and filters to a video. After he said those words to me, I just couldn't look at the clip the same way anymore. What if he's right and someone is just pranking us for his 5 minutes of fame? Well, now that I think about it, if that was the case, the person has probably won. But what if he's wrong? What if there's an actual creature of the night that looks like this? I just can't shake off that thought. What do you guys think, though? Next, we've got a celebrity, or rather criminal elephant that appears to have caused a traffic jam on the road. We've seen elephants beg for snacks from drivers in regions like this, but never have we seen one so intent on damaging or sitting on a vehicle. What do you think could have prompted the big guy to do something like this? An act of vengeance, perhaps elephants don't forget? Or is this big guy just being petty and wanting to sit on the vehicle? Frankly speaking, it's hard to say, but what does your power of deduction tell you about this clip? Here we have a hand holding a green bell pepper, but there's something unusual inside the vegetable. The thumb presses into the pepper, exposing a small hole, and you can see something moving inside. After a moment, something emerges. It's a huge brown insect with a black spot on its head. This insect is called Achymidrata tessellata. Discovering an insect inside your food is always unsettling, but this particular find is both fascinating and creepy. While entomologists might enjoy this, the everyday person would not. The Archimandrita tessellata, or giant peppered roach, while beautiful, can be scary if you hate bugs. Nonetheless, its large size and distinctive markings make it a striking and memorable sight. Bell peppers, like many fruits and vegetables, can sometimes harbor insects that burrow inside, looking for a safe place to hide or feed. It's a natural part of the ecosystem, though it's definitely startling to come across such a visitor in your produce. Here we have another Bigfoot sighting. This one is an image taken by a Bigfoot researcher in the Hoosier National Forest in Indiana. The man had set up a camera in the forest and was calling out, hoping to attract a Bigfoot. Then, right in front of him, there was a creature among the trees. It looked to be hiding behind a very thin tree, trying to peek at the man behind the camera. He managed to capture a photo of the creature, which stood perfectly still on two legs, revealing a domed head and broad shoulders. The researcher believes he documented exactly what he came for, a glimpse of Bigfoot. What do you think? Could this be real deal or just another case of mistaken identity or even fraud? Next, we turn our eyes to Taiwan. Take a look. The individual who first uploaded this thought he was looking at an iridescent cloud. Frankly, I don't understand how the term iridescent has become so popular. But don't mind me. I digressed. The individual thought the clouds looked beautiful and started to record. After a few seconds, he realized that there was no way what he was recording could be a cloud. This prompted him to record some more till the clouds around the bright object moved a little to reveal what you see. Now, I'm no nephologist, but that doesn't look like a cloud to me. It looks like an alien ship, but why Taiwan? Why would aliens go to Taiwan? I don't know, but I feel I have a hunch. Not many know this, but the world's most advanced semiconductors are produced in Taiwan. If I were an alien and I knew that I wanted to experiment with and explore this planet's technology, I would go to Taiwan too. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but if I were an alien, that's where I would go. Anyway, what do you guys think is happening here? Our next clip is a tad disturbing and comes from a trail cam that has been left in the woods. Take a look. There was a strange man in a scary clown mask roaming through the forest. When he noticed the camera, he moved closer and put his face right up to the lens before continuing his eerie and creepy walk through the woods. Looking at how late it was, I don't think this clown is up to any good. Clowns, already a common fear for many, became even more terrifying when found lurking in dark, remote woods. The fact that he noticed the camera and deliberately approached suggests a level of awareness and perhaps even a desire to be seen. The isolated setting of the forest, combined with the late hour, makes this encounter particularly disturbing. It also raises several questions. Who is this person? What is he or she doing out there? And what are his or her intentions? A mother was out with her kids enjoying a day in nature when the children came running to tell her they'd seen something strange among the leaves. When she went over to take a look, she saw it, a bizarre-looking caterpillar with a human-like face. The creature was just lying there, staring right back at them. The shocked mother posted the footage online and it quickly went viral. Most internet users speculated wildly, with many saying it was probably an alien baby. Some commenters suggested it might be a rare, undiscovered species, while others thought it could be a caterpillar mutated by environmental factors. What are your thoughts on this? While you think about that, we take to the skies for our next clip. What do you think is going on here? It's not every day you see a light source in the sky during broad daylight. That's not the sun, is it? This made the one who uploaded the clip believe that what he was looking at was nothing more than a portal. I know some of you may be tempted to laugh at that assertion, but we've had some very convincing clips on this channel that would suggest that believing that portals exist isn't as crazy as many would make it out to be. This clip, however, is on the blurry and low quality side. As disappointing as that might be because it makes it hard to properly analyze this video, we must remind ourselves that not everyone has the money to afford a phone with a high-quality camera. So we're gonna have to go with our gut feeling on this one. What do you guys think? Could this truly be a portal, or is someone playing games with us? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Some Bigfoot enthusiasts recently ventured out to a well-known Bigfoot hotspot called Sasquatch Canyon, hoping to uncover some evidence of the elusive creature, and they were not disappointed. In the sand along the water's edge, they discovered a massive track. This area has a history of similar findings, with various people reporting tracks in the same spot. The one they found this time was about 17 inches long and 8 inches wide. Interestingly, the tracks found in this location have varied in size, leading some to believe that a family of Bigfoot could be living there. Each discovery seems to add more weight to the idea that something big is roaming the area. Could this be definitive proof of Bigfoot's existence? What do you think?
Oh my gosh. He's talking.
So I wasn't crazy.
No! What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else could it say?
I don't know. I don't even know
Tweet,
what
tweet,
he's
tweet.
saying. Tweet, tweet. The bird is actually...
It is talking, I swear to God.
Two girls woke up in the morning to find an unexpected visitor on the roof of their car, a bird. But here's the thing, the bird was talking, and it wasn't a parrot. The bird kept repeating a phrase that sounded like, dig a tunnel. At first, I thought this might be some kind of government surveillance bird. You know, one of those conspiracy theories about fake birds being used to spy on people. But after doing a bit of research, I found out there's a much simpler explanation. It turns out there are other birds besides parrots that can learn to mimic human speech, and one of them is the mynah bird. Mynah birds are known for their abilities to learn and replicate sounds they hear frequently, including human speech. They're quite the chatterboxes and can be trained to speak just like parrots. So while it might seem strange and even a little creepy to find a talking bird on your car, it's just nature being fascinating. The next time you hear a bird talking, don't jump to conclusions about spy birds. Just appreciate the wonders of the animal kingdom.
What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you see when you look at this clip? I'm not the only one seeing these two blue blips, right? They remain stationary in the sky and do not move for the entire time this is being filmed. The only change visible is toward the last few minutes of the clip, where they change color from blue to white. Now, this has everyone in my team wondering, is this true footage, or is someone trying to pull a fast one on us? If this is true footage, what are they doing up there, and are we even safe? This video, allegedly captured on a night vision camera, shows a massive beast on all fours moving menacingly toward the camera, its snarls echoing through the darkness. When you take a closer look at its facial features, it becomes clear that this creature is something entirely different. At first glance, I thought it might be a feline, maybe a tiger or even a lion, but there's something off about it. The creature's face doesn't match any known animal, and it exudes an otherworldly menace. It definitely looks deadly, whatever it might be. Julius is convinced that the footage is fake, perhaps just a clever piece of CGI or a manipulated image. Even Aaron is leaning toward the possibility, which is a first. Having these two agree on something is scary, and I would want a third opinion, so care to share your thoughts? This footage looks like a scene straight out of a movie, but according to the original uploader, it's anything but fiction. As you can see, there's thunder and terrifying lightning up in the sky, nature showing its raw and powerful side. But here's where things get weird. There seems to be a figure up there in the sky shaped like a person. Now, I can't say for sure what this is because the figure is blurry, but it's giving off some serious superhuman vibes. Is this real-life Thor or Storm up there? Well, I guess it depends on which civilization you ask. This is what I mean. Raijin, the Japanese god of thunder, lightning, and storms, is depicted as a muscular figure surrounded by drums that create thunder. Tlaloc, the Aztec god of rain and lightning, wields lightning bolts and controls the weather, especially during the rainy season. Perun, the Slavic god of thunder and war, is a mighty warrior whose lightning serves as a divine weapon to protect the righteous. And then there's Thor, the Norse god of thunder, lightning, and storms, who wields the powerful hammer Mjolnir, which used to summon lightning and protect both gods and humans. But what do you guys think? Is this some kind of trick, or is there really something or someone up there?
Aquí se ve mejor. Hija. Ajá. Se fue. Para que veamos cuando sigamos. Para que vean de que no. Si alguien puede ver que se va, no se va. Ahí le entramos. Ahí se ve como una caravela. Aparece, ajá. Y desapareció. Desapareció.
A resident in San Juan province took this footage late at night when everyone else had retired to bed. The residents were about to go to sleep when they noticed a strange person standing in front of their house. From the second floor, the camera looked down at the mysterious figure. This strange person was dressed in a dark shirt and trousers. What made the scene even more eerie was that the intruder seemed to be holding something and, upon blowing on it, caused flames to emit. The flames danced for a moment before the person made them vanish, leaving the observer in awe and confusion. The figure's actions and appearance sure don't resemble a normal human. The resident, understandably shaken, shared the footage online, where it sparked a flurry of theories and speculations. Some viewers suggested it could be a street performer or someone playing a prank, but the eerie silence of the night and the mysterious behavior led many to believe something more sinister was at play. What do you think? Could this strange figure be a practitioner of dark arts, an entity from another realm, or simply an elaborate hoax?
Ajá. Se fue.
A woman by the name of Mandy from Massachusetts took to social media to share some haunting footage she captured on a door-ring camera. According to her account, she lives near the forest and has been hearing and experiencing strange things in her home. So she set up the camera to capture whatever it was. Take a look and listen carefully. There are strange scratching sounds and noises from something. It's like a grunt of some sort, but not really human. Most people are speculating that there could be a skinwalker out there, while some say it might be a Bigfoot, but skeptics just think she's making up the whole story. Personally, I don't think so, because at one point she even has to get the police involved. I doubt someone just making false stories for social media would go as far as getting the cops involved, unless, of course, she's that determined to come off as genuine. So what do you think we're dealing with here? Are these sounds evidence of a skinwalker or Bigfoot, or is there a more rational explanation? Share your thoughts. A few years ago, if anyone told me they felt something was off about a cloud in the sky, I would laugh and call them crazy. In today's world, however, I can't do that. Take a look at this clip, for instance. What do you see? The footage starts off with an abnormally gray cloud compared to the ones around it, moving toward the left side of the frame. After moving for a few seconds, it disappears. It just fades out. The last time I checked, clouds aren't meant to do that, which leaves us with a lot of questions. The main question among the many is, what just happened? I wish I had answers, but I don't. Currently, we can only speculate, and the one thing on top of the list of speculations is alien technology. I know this is a subject that gets a lot of controversy surrounding it, but how else would you explain what you're seeing? Many believe that there's a spaceship there pretending to be a cloud. It moves slowly and then cloaks itself. Some thought that was far-fetched and stated that this might be nothing more than an iridescent cloud, but I double-checked, and an iridescent cloud is a type of cloud that displays a range of bright colors similar to those seen on a soap bubble or oil slick. This phenomenon occurs due to the diffraction of sunlight or moonlight as it passes through tiny water droplets or ice crystals in the cloud. The light is scattered into various colors, creating a rainbow-like appearance. You and I can see that that's not what's happening here. So what's your hypothesis? A man was out hiking in the mountains of Utah when he spotted something unusual at the foot of a mountain. It was a thick, dark figure that seemed out of place. At first, he was skeptical and didn't want to jump to conclusions, so he decided to do a comparison. He went back to the same location with a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound person and filmed them in the exact spot where he'd seen the figure. When comparing the footage side by side, the difference is striking. On the left, the original footage shows what appears to be a Bigfoot, much thicker and significantly taller than the human in the footage on the right. The comparison is uncanny and raises the question, did this hiker capture evidence of a Bigfoot in the Utah mountains?
Minute encounter between a glowing blue barbell-shaped UFO, half the length of a football field in size, that came from 3 witnesses, including a Pentagon engineering contractor. This happened in southwestern Ontario in August 2013, about 11 years ago. One of the witnesses describing an indigo plasma that covered most of this craft, claiming the craft rotated slowly for about 6 or 7 minutes while emitting an electrical spark-like shower. One witness attempted to film the craft with his camera phone, only to get static when he did, despite the camera working before and after the encounter.
Back in 2013 in southwestern Ontario, 3 people witnessed a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. One of the witnesses was a Pentagon official engineer, adding credibility and intrigue to the sighting. According to their accounts, there was a barbell-shaped craft in the sky. The initial photo taken was grainy, making it hard to discern details. However, after the image was enhanced and worked on, this is what they came up with. The barbell shape is unusual and unlike any known aircraft, which has fueled speculation and debate. Some suggest it could be a military secret project, while others lean toward the possibility of extraterrestrial origin. What do you think? Could this be an advanced human-made craft, or is it something from another world? A man takes a video of how he gets to his room when he gets home. It's not clear if he lives in a house or an apartment, but the turns and stairs he has to take make it look like a journey of doom. Take a look at what I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
I'm here.
The path he navigates is like something out of a horror movie. Dimly lit hallways, creaky stairs, and narrow passages. Each step seems to lead deeper into a labyrinth. You can almost feel the tension as he moves through the shadows, the anticipation building with every twist and turn. When he finally reaches his destination, his room is very small. Just look at how confined the space is. The eerie walk to get there and the cramped quarters make it feel like he's living in a nightmare. I can't see you, but I bet there are some of you that roll your eyes anytime I mention glitches and simulations, but how would you guys explain this? Tell me you see it. The clip looks like it was taken at a garage or dealership. At first glance, I didn't notice what was wrong with the clip until I took a second look and realized that it was raining on just one car. Can you see it? Now tell me that's not a glitch. Tell me that's not abnormal. I know what some of you will say, localized rain, but come on, that affects an area larger than just one vehicle. Well, that's what I thought until I did some research. It turns out it's possible, though rare, for it to rain on just one car. This could happen due to a highly localized weather event, such as a tiny convective cloud releasing rain over a very small area, or a passing shower coinciding with the car's location. Additionally, obstacles like tall buildings or trees could deflect rain, making it seem like only one car is getting wet while others nearby remain dry. Such occurrences are unusual and typically short-lived, but they can happen under the right conditions. I still don't think it's normal, though. I believe this has got to be a glitch, and we found a way to explain it away. What say you guys? Now moving back to the topic of aliens. Have you wondered why there's been no official word on them? I mean, if they're out there, why won't they talk to us? Well, there are three major theories, and you won't like the third. The first theory is what many call the Great Silence Theory. This theory suggests that aliens are so advanced that we're merely an insignificant bit of the cosmos to them. In other words, they're just not interested in us. The next theory is the zoo theory, which states that aliens are interested in us, just not interested in directly dealing with us, so they watch us as we go to the zoo and watch animals. The final theory, and most disturbing, is that we are living in a simulation. The aliens in this situation will be our creators who are merely interested in seeing how things are going with the simulations. Think of a child playing a video game with the video game characters thinking they're real. With advancements in AI, this shouldn't sound too absurd, right? Anyway, tell me which of these you think is the most likely situation. Humans are one of the most cunning and dangerous creatures in the world, and this could very well be our downfall.
There's some kind of object that's suspended in the air. It's hard to tell. It's pretty small.
Recently, military whistleblower Danny Sheehan came forward with some startling information. The U.S. military is allegedly deploying soldiers to seek out alien technology and bring it back for their own use. It's no wonder they have been evasive when asked about alien control and UFOs. They want to harness alien tech to gain military dominance around the world. But if you ask me, this seems like a recipe for disaster. On one hand, the potential benefits of such technology could be enormous, leading to advancements in medicine, energy, and more. However, the risks are equally significant. By attempting to take alien technology, we may be provoking entities that are far more advanced than us. It's like a modern-day Pandora's box. Once opened, the consequences could be catastrophic. The possibility of a retaliatory strike from these extraterrestrial beings is not something to be taken lightly. What do you think about these revelations, though? Do you believe we should be pursuing alien technology, or is it too dangerous? Imagine walking into your room and seeing a black cat doing this. Given how people often feel about black cats and associating them with superstitions and bad luck, you know anyone seeing this wouldn't be happy. This prompted the lady in question to start recording, and it only got worse with time. As you can see in the footage, the cat begins to twitch with its neck stretched out in an unusual manner. The woman understandably gets scared and keeps her distance while continuing to record. A commenter mentioned that the cat might be having a seizure, which is a plausible explanation for the strange behavior. Seizures in cats can look quite alarming, with twitching, muscle contractions, and unusual postures. If this is indeed a seizure, then this is sad. Are there any cat lovers or vets here? Can you confirm if we're dealing with a cat acting evil or one that needed its owners and they ran away? Behold the mesmerizing serpent captured in the lens of fascination, a horned snake with orange skin. Its back is covered in spikes like a dragon from ancient stories deciding to show up in the form of this amazing snake-like marvel. It's like a mythical creature coming to life. At first glance, one might entertain the notion of a horned puff adder, but no, this snake is something else entirely. It's not your regular snake, it's like a mystery in itself. With majestic proportions and all these intricate spikes covering its slithery body, what type of snake is this? But hold on, here's a twist. We can't rule out that this might just be a fake snake created with technology. You know, people can pull off some pretty convincing illusions these days, so the mystery might be more about how it was made rather than what it actually is. This looks like a giant rug with a strange image of some sort of god on it. There are people all around taking pictures and videos as the rug gracefully ascends into the sky. What are we looking at here? Could it be some sort of traditional cultural practice or perhaps an impressive piece of artwork? The scene is captivating and puzzling. The image on the rug appears to be intricately designed, possibly depicting a deity or a mythical figure, which suggests it might be part of a religious or cultural ceremony. The way it moves, almost as if it has a life of its own, adds to the spectacle and mystery. Some commenters believe it could be a modern art installation, utilizing advanced technology to create an illusion of flight. Others speculate it might be a part of a local festival or a traditional event that incorporates such fascinating displays. What do you guys think? If you own cats, then you would actually make $1,000 a day from them. Yeah, at least that's what this man makes from his 10 cats. Rather than the usual pet companionship, he rents them out to people struggling with rodent infestations. It's an unconventional approach to pest control, but it's really taken off. Think about it. Cats are known for their natural hunting instincts and become professional exterminators, roaming homes and businesses to catch mice and rats. This man is essentially turning his pets into a business, and people are willing to pay for it. With his fleet of feline hunters, he earns a steady income, providing a natural and eco-friendly solution to pest problems. What if we start seeing a wave of animal-based services? Dogs helping with deliveries, birds acting as lookouts, or maybe even turtles transporting tiny packages. But for now, it seems this man and his cats are enjoying a mutually beneficial arrangement. Well, maybe not, but I think we have to ask the cats to see what they have to say about it. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.